So, as you can see by the title of this article that we're going to thumb through, we're going to break down. It says Obama says average American doesn't want to tear down the system. Now, I'm going to talk to y'all about this. And y'all know I've been very critical of Obama. I've been very critical of politics over the years that I've been doing YouTube videos. But I want y'all to understand what Obama is saying to you when he says this. So that's why we're going to go through it, because I get a lot of backlash with people saying I've always been too hard on Obama. I've said that Obama, even after his presidency, has nothing to say to black people here in America. He says nothing to you. He doesn't stand up for you. He doesn't stand against racism. And y'all don't see a problem with that. I still see how Obama is your forever president on every post I see about this man. Y'all are falling for the motherfucking okie doke continuously. And it's shameful at this point to me, because it shows that black people are inherently stupid. And I hate that, because I'm black. So I kind of lumped in with y'all. So y'all, it's kind of like when I do stuff like this, it's kind of like I want to save the image of the team because I'm y'all. And if most of y'all fucking stupid, that means when I'm looked at, that means I have to be looked at as stupid too. Y'all is real stupid, especially when it comes to Obama, y'all's so-called forever president. Now Obama, this is in the New York Times. Now Obama, a couple of days ago, I think it might have been on Friday or Saturday one. I guess that maybe as we go through here, we'll find out the exact day. He was talking to his donors. And I want y'all to understand that Obama's donors are primarily white liberals. Understand that first and foremost. You got to understand that first before you can understand how this is going to be framed. He said this in front of a bunch of white liberals. Now, what it says here is Obama says average American doesn't want to tear down the system. When you see the term average American, any black person with any amount of sense understand that average American equals white folk. First and foremost, average American equals white folk, by and large. Not saying it doesn't include a large amount of black people too, because there's a lot of black people who have the same mentality. They just want to get along. They don't want the system to be torn down, replaced, or changed. They just want to get along in the system. That's it. It's sad. But that's what they're saying when they say average American. It says former President Barack Obama, in an address to liberal donors, warned candidates not to go too far left and sought to calm those who were concerned about the state of the Democratic primary. Now, what you have to understand is too far left is meaning these candidates that are actually addressing black peoples, and particularly the black people that are saying that they want the president to have a black agenda, or want whoever the candidate is to have a black agenda. That's what they're saying. You don't want y'all, the Democratic candidates, listening too much to y'all talking about reparations, to black people talking about an actual agenda, to black people actually talking about dealing with institutional racism. That's too far left. He's telling Democratic candidates to not go so-called too far left. He's telling them to ignore your black ass. Now, I don't know how y'all can sit here, let this man talk like this. Well, one, let him ignore you for an entire presidency. And then two, let him sit here and talk like this about you, and y'all still feel some loyalty to him. I don't know how y'all can consciously do this. Because to you, Obama is just he's a black man, speaks well. You don't listen to what he's saying. You just listen to the fact that he's using complete sentences. Got some spunk to him. Y'all don't know why he was sent? Because you niggas love a good speech. You don't care what they're saying. You don't care that one of the first things he did was bail out the banks with an executive order, as he told you for a whole term or 2 terms that he couldn't do shit for you. Didn't make one executive order for you niggas. But he your forever president. How? A hell, a white motherfucker can get in there and ignore you. What's that? That's what's wrong with y'all. Y'all listen to what's being said. This man is not a president. He's not a president no more. He do not talk about y'all black folks' issues at all. Don't talk about reparations. Doesn't speak out against racism and institutional racism. He doesn't speak out against any of that. He buddy with several racists. Him and his fucking wife. Y'all don't care. Y'all look over this shit. But then he comes out and telling the Democratic nominees, don't go too far left. Don't you start addressing black issues. And y'all cool with that. Let me read some more into this article. Written by some white colonizer hoe, looks like, named Lisa something. Lisa Lura. I could be saying her name wrong, but who gives a fuck, right? I'll just start with the first paragraph. It says, former President Barack Obama offered an unusual warning to the Democratic Party field on Friday morning. The reason it's unusual, because typically a president ain't gonna say that shit to Democratic nominees. The only reason they're saying it now is because they're getting pressure to deal with black folk and a black agenda specifically. That's why he's saying it now. Unusual, ain't it? Even the white bitch said it. It says, warning to the Democratic primary field on Friday evening, cautioning the candidates not to move too far left into their policy proposals, even as he sought to reassure a party establishment worried about the electoral strength of their historically large primary field. Basically, worried that niggas ain't gonna just be voting Democrat just off the strength of voting Democrat, which I feel as though black people still will, regardless if something's wrong with us. But black people are challenging Democrats to actually do something for black folk. Not for everybody. Black folks saying for everybody, that ain't enough. Minorities, that ain't enough, because in the veil of minority, you have homosexuals, which Obama did several things for homosexuals. The dreamers. Obama damn sure pushed that dreamer shit through, didn't he? For the immigrants. Mostly the would-be Hispanics, so-called Hispanics, which voted for him in large number. But black people voted for him more than anybody else, both terms, and he still ignored you niggas. And y'all niggas don't think that's disrespectful at all. He's telling Democratic candidates, look, don't y'all go in here proposing all this reparations, and don't y'all keep telling these niggas that. Benign neglect has been working. Let's hope it keep working. But what's happening with the idea of benign neglect, and if you don't know or understand the terminology of benign neglect, is if I don't address you, you can't say that I promised you nothing and didn't do it. I ain't promised you niggas nothing. Obama didn't. Never promised you niggas nothing. So if I don't promise you nothing, you can't hold me accountable for not doing nothing. I didn't say I was going to do that. Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what y'all complain about. I ain't say I was going to come in here and, be revolutionary. He's saying that most Americans don't want revolutionary change. Of course they don't. Most Americans are white, colonizing motherfuckers, invaders. We'll be celebrating their invasion and murder of indigenous people next week with Thanksgiving. Of course they don't want a revolutionary change, because that would shift the motherfucking power in this country over to the black folk. Of course they don't want a revolution. Of course most Americans are against reparations. Of course. Because most Americans, white. So-called average Americans, white. folk, colonizers. Of course, they don't want a revolutionary change. They're doing fine. Because the average wealth of the middle-class white families is about, what, $120,000? While the average wealth for a black family is like $1,500. Why would you, and this is, I mean, this is from a logical standpoint, why would you, as a white person, want to change that? You don't want to change that. You winning. The only people that's looking for a revolutionary change in this system are the people that are losing. Black people requiring more of these fucking candidates, making these people deal with racism, as it were, as opposed to simply ignoring racism. I mean, you even have black people that will do that. I'll be making a whole video about Candace Owens. I'm going to do another separate video on her. But now motherfuckers ain't going to ignore it. Now you're not going to keep ignoring it in front of my face. Black people hold these politicians to task. What you got to say about us specifically? Not minorities, motherfucker. Not playing those tricks. Bernie Sanders, you can keep that goddamn waving college debt shit. I'm talking about us specifically. Corey, what you doing for us specifically? Andrew Yang, what you doing for us specifically? Mala, what you doing? That's what black people are requiring. That's how these Democratic nominees are being challenged. And Obama is telling them, look, don't y'all keep talking like y'all gonna do something about all of this. Because most Americans don't want a revolutionary change. Most Americans don't want to balance the scales. Y'all don't keep doing this shit. Do what I did. Ignore these niggas. Give them hope. Make them act like you care about racism, or make them believe that you care about racism, and stopping it in some type of way. Which again, I don't feel like our liberation is going to come from any one of these candidates. Don't give a damn if Trump is impeached, because that's the big conversation now. I had a guy, I was playing the game the other day, playing at Call of Duty. Guy got on there talking about, what's going on with Trump and how hype he was, that he was getting impeached. I told him I don't give a fuck. He was like, what? And it's almost like people ain't paying attention. I don't think they understand what not giving a fuck really means. When I tell y'all I don't give a fuck, I'm not one of them people that say they don't give a fuck and then they really do. I really don't. I don't give a fuck. I don't think our liberation is about to come through politics. I think they should be challenged, and I like and again, a lot of this shit is coming due to, black people waking up. When you have the ADOS movement that are making black people focus on reparations for American descendants of slavery. A lot of this is geared towards that movement challenging candidates to specifically talk about what you're going to do for black folk. Obama's really addressing them. When he got on that panel and talked about, insulting really what he called woke culture, which is really, motherfucker, I see your bullshit culture. He don't like that shit. He don't like being called out and challenged. He don't like that. So he's trying to calm the Democratic donors that he has, and calm the Democratic Party, the people that are, the liberal whites. He's trying to calm them down and tell the candidates, don't y'all keep telling these black folk y'all gonna do nothing for them. Y'all know how we do it. But he's a good speaker, so he uses coded language. He uses very coded language. And you have to understand this. This man right here has been against you the entire time. The entire fucking time. King did shit for you. But bailout banks. Meanwhile, black people's houses were lost in the crisis. Some of you remember, some of you may be too young to. Black folk lost their houses and shit. And you know what Obama did? Instead of looking out for the people who lost their houses and shit, he gave $700 billion to the banks. That's the first thing he did. And then if you listen to Byron Allen's Breakfast Club interview, he said that Obama ignored trying to level the playing field for black people purposely. Byron Allen said it. I came to him with some ideas, some things that you don't have to pass through Congress, as y'all was acting like Obama needed Congress to do every fucking thing. I told y'all that's a game. You can make executive orders and bypass that whole fuckery. He used his executive powers while he was president in his 2 terms. He just didn't use them for you niggas. And y'all don't care. This is viewed as hate to y'all for somebody to even be talking about this. This man is out here giving speeches against you, against your best interest, and telling other Democratic candidates, don't be out here promising these niggas nothing. That's what he's saying. Too far left is you standing up for yourself. You requiring more of these candidates. They can't just come through and campaign with hopes of jobs, because that's all the fuck he did. That's all they all do if you really listen to them. I'm gonna open this job and this job and that job, and they run on that type of shit. Even if when they get in there, the unemployment numbers are still rising amongst black men and women. Even though they stay high, they can run these campaigns. And that's black in this case, so-called black. Some of you won't view him as black because he's mixed, but I mean, whatever. So-called black president and the white ones. Doesn't matter. Because when they get into office, guess what? No one can hold them accountable then. They just passing legislation, signing legislation. Y'all don't understand that. That's why y'all get so hyped when motherfuckers are giving you speeches. That's why y'all clap y'all hands when motherfuckers are giving you speeches before they get into the White House. Y'all get real hyped. Then when they get in there, you don't even keep up with what they sign. Y'all didn't keep up with Obama at all. Y'all was talking about Michelle Obama's dresses. Y'all niggas is trash. Talking about how good he talk. Didn't pay attention to no legislation that he signed. No bills he supported, anything like that. Y'all didn't care about none of that shit. Look at Obama. Look at Michelle's dress. Black don't crack. You know, y'all niggas are dumb when it comes to this political arena, and they want you to be dumb so they can continue to ignore you. As you vote Democrat every time, like that's somehow better. And that's basically what Obama's saying. Look, y'all ain't got to do all that. These niggas are going to vote Democrat regardless. So why y'all out here promising all this shit? Because then when you get in office and the American government's not going to allow the the playing field to be level, then you're going to like Elijah. They're going to be mad at you. So just ignore them. Like we've been doing. That's what he suggested to them. He's saying the average American doesn't want to tear down the system because the average American is a colonizing white motherfucker. And they never want to tear down a system that helps them, a system that they can build wealth in and pass down generational wealth. Of course. But what I'll do for this, if you want to read the whole article, I didn't read through the whole article with you guys, but if you want to read that, I'll post a link up to the article in the description box if you want to read the shit yourself. Y'all want to keep telling me I'm tripping, you know, but this is what it is, man. This is who this man is, and this is who he's been. Y'all just ain't paying attention. Y'all just want to call me off for her president for no real reason. And that needs to change, man. Y'all need to stop being so fucking dumb. So fucking stupid. I can't think of no soft words to say to y'all. Stop being so damn blind and ignorant to what the fuck is going on out here. The system has to be torn down for black people to be liberated. There is no other way for black people to get what they're owed. There is no other way. It's not going to come through the system. It got to be torn down. Black people are showing they're not as ignorant as they always been. Now, there's still a high level of stupidity going on. But black people ain't as ignorant as they've always been. That's what's forcing Candace to deal with y'all's issues. Deal with our issues. But y'all's boy Obama, never standing for you, but now he's standing against you. How the fuck y'all feel about that? That's all the fuck I want to say. Y'all like, share, subscribe. Click the notification bell. Links in the description box. Follow me on social media. Donate. Order a t-shirt. Everything's in there. Shout out Team Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is. I'm out.